Coming to you from the Loading Ready Run orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast. It's just Magnum PI you're doing.
No, that's more like bow down 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 down
Bow down down down.
Hey everybody, welcome to the LRRcast. I'm Graham. Joining me this week is
dun dun dun. Cameron. Dun 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 dun.
And Kathleen. Dun, dun.
Bow,
And
bow
Paul.
down, bow down.
I have no musical hit to go with me. So
yeah.
Bwah. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
We're gonna
this is the all Magnum PI.
all Magnum PI theme song episode.
Oh, everything
of
I've
the
ever
LRRcast.
wanted from my life.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be answering some of your questions as always. But first, we have a story to tell about a video that went up recently. I think, as of recording, the most recent video to go live.
The Commodore Hustle?
Yeah, fixing the stream. So there was a weekend,
About
like a month ago,
3 weeks ago.
like
now?
3 weeks to a month ago,
Yeah.
where James and I were. Was this when we were at GP Portland?
Yes.
Okay. And Kathleen was still on the road trip for Tabletop Deathmatch. And so
You left us all alone.
we left you all alone. And so President Victoria was Paul and Cam and Alex and Beach. And you guys did a video
Yeah.
with
So-
that you wrote.
Yeah. So I knew, I knew that everybody would be away. And so I wrote.
We didn't just surprise them.
Yeah.
It's like Friday at 4
Oh,
o'clock.
by the way, we're
we're away all weekend.
Yeah.
Later.
So I wrote this video knowing that, which is why it's a Commodore Hustle that only has myself and Beej and Alex and Cam in it. And, people say like it doesn't have like a B plot or anything, which is like it's not really a Commodore Hustle. It's more like it's Commodore Hustle, but it's sort of like Commodore Hustle side story.
Commodore Hustle Raiden.
Gaiden.
Gaiden.
Yeah.
Not Raiden. Gaiden.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's sort of in the same realm as the story of Beej one, which was, again, written for the same reason.
Commodore
And
Hustle
also
After
ended
Dark.
up being shot differently.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. Anyway. So it was the four of us, but of course the four of us are actually like in shot for a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
And so luckily we also had Serge and Heather,
Right.
who were just happened to be available around to sort of hold boom and do some loading time
But
and that kind of stuff.
but with Serge and Heather, that brings the grand total of the number of people who know how to operate the new camera on
To-
hand that day.
To one,
To one.
which
Yeah.
is Paul,
Yeah.
who was in the video
So-
for a large portion of it.
Yes. Also, this was while we were one of the things we sort of figured out after this
Mm.
is that our the Zoom that we were previously using to record audio.
Yep.
So when we got our new camera, we were like, this is great because we can just plug mics directly into the camera, record the audio directly on the thing. We don't have to do the resyncing thing that we've been doing with the Zoom.
Mhm.
It'll be great.
And it has been.
Yeah. What we didn't, we sort of knew about it, but we didn't quite know what the implications were.
Yep.
Is that the Zoom was providing phantom power to the microphones,
Which is
makes,
a term that I'm trying to. What phantom power means? It means applying additional power to it.
Yeah, it's
Like a microphone will either be powered itself, or it'll receive power from the board, or the Zoom, or the camera.
Like
or,
it's called phantom power because it's sending power through
The XLR.
an XLR cable that isn't
Yeah.
really designed to have power, but it's just something that's sort of been hacked into the XLR standard.
phantom power.
Is this 5 volts of XLR
Canadians.
of phantom power that can
Canadians will know there's a whole Tragically Hip album called Phantom Power.
Ooh.
I think it's 5 volts. Anyway.
5 volts would be energy.
Oh, right.
Doesn't
Is it
usually
watts?
doesn't it usually say 48?
Oh yeah, it does.
It says 48 volts.
Anyway. I was thinking of a different thing. Anyway.
Okay.
So now To further complicate the issue, the microphones we use, the Rode microphones, actually can take a battery inside them. And if they have the battery in them, they don't need phantom power. The problem is they have no indication on them whether the battery inside them is dead or not.
Yep.
And so if the microphone does not have phantom power and the battery is dead, the levels that the microphone is outputting will be a lot lower than they should be. And the problem with that is that if you're listening to it with headphones, normally the things you listen to with headphones are, whether there's like a lot of noise from people moving around or like street noise, or whether people sound weird because they're far away from the mic, that kind of stuff. Whereas everybody sounds fine, the levels are lower. But when you're wearing the headphones, it's not immediately
like
obvious
noise
that's
canceling.
happening.
Not really noise canceling, but like very isolating headphones. It's like, sounds fine.
Yeah. So anyway, we shot this thing, and it sort of ended up with a variety of problems when we shot it.
There was no one.
Well,
I did the first editing cut together of it, and there was no one part that was completely problem free. Like there are some parts that were not shot as elegantly as you could have, and that's not really a big deal. Whatever, you can fix that. But combined with the fact that there was another part that was not like whoa, but like noticeably out of focus, like enough that people would be like, it's out of focus, like it doesn't quite look right. And then combined with the fact that there was like this quiet audio meant that there like none of these problems were awful except for the out of focus thing, which was like it wasn't like super blurry, so it wasn't even noticeable right away.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it basically came down to like the one shot of the three of you standing in front of the monitor at the end. That was just legitimately out of focus. Yeah, and it was like, oh, okay, well, we'll just reshoot that. But if we are reshooting that and we're getting them to come in the same things, I personally would like to reshoot like the pre-title because some of the cinematography was a little weird, and so I'd like to redo that. And then it's like, then if we're doing that, and it only took you guys 4 hours to shoot it originally,
and we'll have
and all the audio is weird,
and then the audio will sound different in those pieces than in the rest.
Then it was like, well,
we might as well just
let's just reshoot the whole thing.
So
there's an alternate version.
So we ended up shooting the video that was designed to be shot with a lower amount of crew with just the normal crew that we have.
But I can tell you what, because I did a rough cut of the video and I went to Graham and I was like, I don't know if this works for various reasons. But when I edited the second time, it came together real fast.
Yeah.
Well, Bij and I, when we're in the streaming office after we've cleaned it, there's a couple of fairly long lines that we have sort of back and forth, which originally took us quite a few tries to do, but this time we were like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it was great too because you'd changed some stuff on set, but you hadn't changed the script. So I was like, okay, so now Paul, you have to do this, and Bij was like, actually, last time we split it up, so it was me and Paul. I'm like, oh, that'll make it easier. Let's do that. You guys have done this. You've had all the difficult shooting decisions.
I just like to point out though that I think the best part of this video is the various sound effects for like things dropping and being put in. I'm very proud of my Foley work
here. This is Kathleen fishing for compliments.
You mean those weren't on set?
Wait, no. Was it Foley, or was it like you found some sound effects, or did you actually record the sound effects?
It's not Foley.
Oh, God damn it!
I was thinking you could have like, recorded some dropping.
Yeah. The footage of Bij on the monitor though. That is from the first time.
Yes.
Because we didn't need to re-record that.
Yeah, we didn't need to re-record that.
Yeah, and that was not... the way that you guys did that before and then this time was not just having him in the other room doing it live, which we could have done. No. It was actually recording that you were timing your lines to.
Well, yeah, because the problem with him doing it live is that he has to die at a specific point.
Yeah.
And if you're just playing a video game for real... especially a game like Dark Souls. For one thing, he has to survive long enough to do the thing, and then he has to die at the right time, which can be difficult.
For all the flack Dark Souls gets, it's actually difficult to be like, okay, I need to die in precisely 10 seconds.
Exactly, yeah. And so this way, what we did is we had it showing on the monitor there and looping, and so we just sort of ran it a few times with it looping, and so we kind of got the timing of it. And actually, the funny thing is with the there's the sort of reversed out of focus overlay on there.
I just had fun with that.
Yeah, well, it was like I remember when we were doing it, and we were doing it with the or the original way that, like the way we shot it originally, was sort of with wides and closes of us standing around the monitor, and then Graham had the idea to do the reverse shot of sort of the monitor's view. And I sort of jokingly said, "Ha ha ha, we should have the video, the gameplay overlaid, which entirely defeats the purpose of doing the reverse shot, because the reverse shot means that you don't have to synchronize it to the video."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ha ha ha ha," and so Graham ended up kind of splitting the difference by having it.
I was like, oh, that's a cool idea.
But not showing the actual game. Somehow the camera is positioned between the video game and the overlay.
You see the overlay and you see the scan lines, but you don't see beach.
You don't see the actual game. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
You can't see if you showed the actual game, you wouldn't be able to see the people.
Exactly. So,
Sure.
It's a stylistic choice.
Anyhow, it was
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cute.
I think that it turned out real good. The Gone Bijan sign is still up on our streaming door.
Gone Bijan.
I'm pretty sure it'll stay there
Until Desert Bus.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future.
Actually, if I may, you know what I think the best cut in that video is the cut where it goes to Cam close. He's like, "Look, I just had a big lunch," and he turns around and he then backs away, and as he backs away, it cuts to a wide of him doing the same motion. It's a really good cut. I wonder who did that.
What is with your not humble at all?
You told me to be more confident.
Okay.
I'm actually really quite proud of the editing I did in that
It's
video,
good.
which is
It is good.
a fairly straightforward video, but there's some nice touches in there. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I'm like, well, you're not very good. Graham's like, oh, I wish you'd have more confidence in your work. And I so confident. He's like, why are you being so unhumble, you horrible person?
Well, it's a difference between having confidence and saying, I thought this was, quote, the best part of the video.
There's just not saying you're terrible. That's maybe the first step.
Yeah. If you can get past that hurdle, we'll keep working on
How
it.
come other people can say things that they thought that they were good about and nobody gives them the gears?
Because I didn't say it was literally the best
Don't.
part of the video.
I'll just go back to hating myself and being ashamed in everything I do.
Okay, as long as you
Sounds
do
good.
as long as you do it silently.
Okay.
Time for Askler. We put up some we put up a call for questions on our Facebook this week because you rapscallions over on Facebook don't get enough love. We're all because we often
kicking it old school.
well
on
we're
Facebook.
often like, oh, we didn't put up a thing asking for questions. Twitter. So today though, James planned it a whole hour in advance, and we have some questions. So Andrew asks, has there ever been a loading time about Unskippable? If not, can there be some discussion about that creative process? We've been wanting to do one of those for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the creative process and Unskippable a number of times. And yeah, we have talked about doing a loading time. Unfortunately, we're wearing headphones and stuff during Unskippable. It's not super visually interesting. It's basically us watching the video and saying things over and over again.
I think it'd be neat to have us, discussing it in between
Yeah,
what
I
we
think
actually record.
a loading time making of Unskippable is probably worth an episode.
Sasha asks, have you ever pulled an all-nighter for a video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not in a while, thank God. I've stayed up really, really, really late on a bunch of videos in the last year or two, but I haven't pulled the literal all-nighter.
Probably since Strip Search.
Well, that was, we'll say Loading Ready Run videos.
Oh.
There's going way, way, way back to season 1. There was the mirror,
Right.
which when we updated on Fridays, we had nothing. We had no ideas. I went over to Paul's place and we wrote the video around 8 at night, and we shot it starting at 10-ish, 10 or 11, I think. And then I went home and edited it all night, and it went up at 2 in the afternoon next day.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So that was a poor choice. No, it wasn't. The video turned out really well, but I just don't have all-nighters in me anymore. They used to be so easy.
Getting old.
Yeah. I don't like it. No, as it turns out, I enjoy sleep. You know what? I would like to go to bed.
I mean, I tend to just, for my personal thing is I tend to, if there's something that I really need to do, I find it to be more productive to just get up really early as opposed to try and stay up and like power through it. Because then my productivity just completely collapses.
I unfortunately can't. I like this is one thing that I know that Kathleen can do is, you know, she'll be working on something and then be like, oh, I'm getting kind of tired. All right, I'm gonna go to bed right now and then get up at 6 and start again on it. And I'm like, I can't. I cannot do that. I'm so useless in the morning. I'll be better if I stay up later.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily better or worse.
Oh, no, it's just different.
It's just, it's like I'm useless late at night, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to do a couple of all-nighters. Last year when I was working on my honors thesis in a row.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
when did you sleep?
After.
Oh, no.
After I submitted it. And during my defense of it, one of the presenters was like, you said this on page, 12. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, yeah, it is. Right?
It's like page 12 has this big digression about elephants.
Yeah.
Is that something that, okay, that was a dream I had.
Yeah.
That wasn't part of the discussion.
I must have been hallucinating at that point. But, yeah, I can't do them anymore. I used to be really good at them.
Yeah.
I honestly stopped being able to do all-nighters in my third year of university. I couldn't even do them in my last year. I've never been good at staying up all night. Not even that good as a teenager, honestly. So
I guess the last Loading Ready Run all-nighter would be Adam doing his 24-hour, 36-hour stream.
Yup.
Adam's a special boy.
Zach asks a question I'm going to direct to Kathleen because I know the answer. Have any of you played Spry Fox's new game Road Not Taken? And if so, what did you think of it?
I played it and I liked it. It was good. I suggest everybody try it on Steam. It's cheap.
That was
easy.
Like
$15.
Adam asks, any members of the LRR team play Counter-Strike Global Offensive? James does. And I think that's it. But James does. Actually, Alex might have. I don't know. I don't think he does frequently, but he's into all the Valve shooty games. Do any of you have any plans to travel to Europe in the near future? No plans, but desires. Wishes.
Always wishes to put our bodies inside of Europe.
Kathleen.
Inside of my what?
Maybe you can... Oh, stupid Facebook navigation. Oh, okay. Wait, where did it... Okay, whoever designed this app,
can suck a butt.
Facebook, Daniel asks,
Damn you,
so
Mark
when is the
Zuckerberg.
vote for Canadian independence from the Crown?
Probably never. We're not a very Republican country.
But we're not...
I mean...
We're as independent from the Crown as Scotland was voting to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
they still would have been
we
part
did
of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We did it, and
but I mean,
it
like,
worked out fine.
I think he might mean, Australians bring it up every once in a while. When I say Republican, I don't mean, American Republicans. I mean people who want to be in a republic and not a crown colony, which is essentially what we sort of evolved out of. A completely self-governing place, because Canada still has a governor general who stands in for the Queen, who's technically the highest power in the land.
Yeah, so would that just involve electing an executive as well? Like a president in addition to a prime minister?
I think we would probably need to tinker with the Constitution a little bit more than making a one-to-one substitution.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would make any... I mean, it wouldn't make any difference, so I don't think anybody is like, yay, let's do that.
Yeah, I know some people in Australia are kind of anti-monarchist and stuff like that, but the people tend to like the monarchy here in Canada. And more importantly... the Queen is completely symbolic. She has absolutely no input over affairs. And, the amount of money and hassle it would be to sort of disentangle ourselves from the system wouldn't bring us any serious benefit. Literally everything in Canada is arranged around that. We call, prosecutors working for the state are, working for the crown. And, just the signage that would have to be changed.
Her Majesty's loyal opposition.
Yeah.
In government.
Yeah,
right?
stupid.
It's expensive enough when a monarch changes, right? And it goes from her Majesty to His Majesty's.
I like the idea that it's we're going to keep our system of government because the signs would be really expensive to change.
Also would probably wind up with less direct, democratic control, right? If you... right now it just goes from the Commons to the Senate and then gets ratified and the Governor General like stamps it.
Rubber stamps it,
Yeah.
literally. I mean, like,
And
we'll probably have the same
And
system.
every 20 years or so, the Queen comes over and we go, yay!
Yeah, you know what, though? We only get second-rate royals here in Victoria.
Yeah, we got
had,
Prince Andrew.
We had
I
the
saw the Queen here once.
Count and Countess of Wessex.
Yeah,
Well,
we had the Queen here.
We hosted the Commonwealth Games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen A-list royalty.
I've seen the Queen.
You've only been here for like 5 years, right?
Yeah, but like I've lived in other parts of Canada. I've lived in another country that was
they're not
in the
going to come to
Commonwealth.
Chetwynd, are they?
God damn it! I want to see some A-list royalty. I want to be like, "Hey, Kate's, what you use in your hair?" And, we could be
And then
like,
MI5 tackles you.
yeah, I know.
Top, 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 top. Biff.
And I'm like, I just want her powers.
Chris asks, from a prospective podcaster or streamer, do you have any advice for someone without much experience who wants to start, and or also some necessary equipment?
Good microphone.
Get a good microphone. That's your main thing. The rest of the hurdles, I think, are on you, and the barrier to entry is very low.
Yeah.
Just do it and try it out and see
Yeah.
what you like.
And I mean, it's you can start with the with the built-in streaming thing.
Hmm. And less is more on your overlay, I think.
Mm-hmm. Daniel asks, do you guys have creepy stalker fans yet? If not, can I be your creepy stalker fan? Google Maps says I can be in Victoria in 182 hours if I don't stop biking at any point and keep a pace of 12 miles an hour.
You know what? I don't think we're taking.
I'd like to see
applications
someone
for that
try.
position
Yeah,
right now.
it's not a position that really needs to be filled. I
No.
don't think.
So
Yeah.
far, no.
Don't
Like-
call us.
My
Ever.
my
We'll call
cousin
you.
is an actor, and he once had someone send him
Skin?
a braid of hair.
Oh, I was hoping it would be just a hunk of skin.
No,
Unidentified skin.
It was somebody's long, cut off braid of hair.
What do you do with that?
I
Call
think
the
you burn
police.
it.
Colin asks, what should I have for dinner tonight?
You should have a nice salad, maybe with some cranberries and some blue cheese and some pecans if you're feeling fancy.
Ooh.
Some balsamic vinaigrette. And then on the side, why not a simple pork chop? Season it with some salt and some pepper, or maybe some seasoning salt if that's what you're into, and like sear it on like a very hot like skillet so it's all crispy and golden, and then turn down the heat and put a lid on it and let it like simmer under heat. And then it'll be juicy and tender because nobody likes a dry pork chop. And like by putting the lid on it, it keeps it moist and keeps all the moisture sort of recirculating, and it also cooks your pork chop faster. And then when you're done, take the pork chop out. Obviously make sure it's cooked. You don't need to cook a pork chop through to it's like completely like dry either. That's a common misconception. And then what you can do is you can then take all the juices and the fat that's coming out of your pork chop. You should also fry it in a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick to your pan. And then let your pork chop rest for a couple seconds. Well, you turn up the heat on that a lot. Dump in some wine and a little bit of butter and something like sugary, like orange juice is really good. And then stir that up until it turns into like a thick goo. It's like a demi-glace, and you can put that on top of your pork chop, and it's really good.
On the other end of the Loading Ready Run pay scale, you can
A pork chop is like $2, Cameron.
you can take
you can
a
get-
handful of pierogies and put them in a bowl with a little bit of water, and you microwave that for like 2 minutes, and you throw on some ketchup, and that feeds like you and however many worms you have,
Yeah.
and it's quite filling.
Pork chops
And-
are literally the cheapest meat you can buy
And
in the store, Cam.
just go ahead and grab ketchup packets.
Yeah,
that
you can find them usually in the garbage behind a McDonald's, and they're free that way.
Jonathan asks,
But that sounds good too.
if LRR was a cocktail, what would it be?
I think that's been answered by fans already.
Has it? We did the Desert Bus as a cocktail.
Yeah, that's
Dry and bitter.
No, it would be, well, it would have to be blue. So that's basically just blue curacao. So it would be sweet and fruity, right? Like I'm thinking, ooh, you know what it could be? Oh, how about this? Go with me on this journey.
No.
So it's like, it's a good gin, like a Hendrix or something like that. Like let's say we'll make us like a martini-like cocktail. So we'll take 1.5 ounces of that, and a squeeze of lemon juice, and then 1/2 ounce of blue curacao, and some blueberry juice. That could be good. I mean, it would still be pretty sweet, but not too sweet.
Andrew asks, how much coffee is Kathleen on, and does her doctor know?
I'm on a lot of coffee. My doctor does know.
All right. boring answer. Chris asks, I'm going to ask Cam, if you were a soldier in XCOM, what class would you want to be?
Sniper, because if you aren't the first sniper, you just get dismissed and then you get to go home.
Nice.
Yeah. Although psychic ones would be cool too.
Bruticus.
I am Bruticus.
Username Bruticus Force asks, I'm gonna go with an accent on this one. What's the furthest you've been from home?
Well, I've been to England. That's pretty far from where I live right now.
Mr. Frodo. I take one more step.
This will be the furthest.
The furthest I've been from the Shire. That was more Scottish than West Country. I'm sorry.
It's a celebration of the recent vote in Scotland.
Sure. It's either that or Japan. Like, I don't actually know
think-
which is furthest.
Yeah.
Probably England, because there's across the country and an ocean, even though the
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean is bigger.
Yeah.
So England, I guess.
I guess Mexico. I've never been overseas. Now that I think about it, that's really depressing.
Yeah, I mean,
There's still time.
I've been to the east coast of the States and Hawaii, but that's about as far.
Hawaii.
That is as far as I've gone in either direction.
All right.
I do love England, though. I want to go back.
What is your favorites are very difficult questions for everybody to answer. What is the etymology of erm?
Erm?
E-R-M. Like erm, like the thought, like the pause word?
I think it's
What are
just
those called? Interjections?
onomatopoeia. Like the,
I don't even know if that's what he's asking.
Yeah,
Like the mental spooling words.
I mean,
I guess.
I don't think we came up with that word.
I don't think so either. Alec, I have no idea. Miguel.
I mean, it's probably but people on the internet enjoy misspelling things.
yes.
It's probably not that complicated.
Miguel asks, when you meet new people, what's the first thing you want to know about them?
Have you washed your hands recently?
Yes.
I mean, their name, I guess. I try to drill that into
Are
my
you a
mind.
serial killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty high on my list.
Actually, no. Are you a killer? I don't really care how many people you kill.
Yeah. Do you have that capability?
Yeah. I mean, I always wind up introducing myself as kind of a cue to get someone's name, and they're like, "Oh, I know." Like I say, "I'm Cameron," and they're like, "Oh, we know." Like,
Fulfill your half of the social contract. Tell me your name. Then you can eat their name and gain their power.
gain their powers, gain control over them.
I don't think there's anything like if I'm like meeting somebody new in like a social setting and it's not like at like PAX, so I actually have time to talk to them. I don't necessarily want to know anything specific. I just want to know about you. I want to like get into your head, figure out what makes you tick,
Tell me about you.
your weaknesses, your hopes,
Hey.
your dreams.
Hey,
I mean,
what are you thinking?
So basically, we're mind flayers, and
I mean, I guess in terms of conversation, if you want the conversation to continue, the important questions are like, or the important things to know are, what things are you interested that I also care about?
yeah. Oh, what's good for food around here? That comes up a lot. Peter asks, the videos I enjoy... Ooh, Camel like this. The videos I enjoy tend to be your darkest, most surreal, like Professional Stabists, Xanathor, the Just Chatting with the Creepy Grinding Noise, which was unintentional. I'll tell you about that in a second. A New Maiden, or Feed Dumps with Cam. Is this a side of LRR you wish you could indulge more often, or do you perhaps feel it is not necessarily appropriate to the tone you want to set for your videos? I mean, I think if it wasn't appropriate, we wouldn't do it. We like to explore all kinds of stuff.
I think it is indulged as much as we want to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like there's somebody telling us, like, no, you can't do any more of those.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the nice thing about
We have one of our
LoadingReadyRun-
executive producers here this weekend. Maybe she could weigh in on it.
Yeah. The nice thing about LoadingReadyRun is there's a lot of us who primarily the people who write videos are Paul and myself and Graham. Just going in reverse order down the table here. But all of us have a slightly different sense of humor, which is nice. And then, when you bring in people like Alex and Cam and James and Matt to kind of be like, oh, what about this? What about this? And when we group write, depending on the makeup of the people in the videos or who are writing the videos, they can be darker or lighter or sillier or more surreal or something like that. I
mean, it's come up that, for example, Cam will be like, oh, and then the video will go in this direction. And I or someone, usually Paul or myself will be like,
No.
no, that's too far. Which, now, granted, frequently it's also impractically unfilmable. So that's an easy way to say no.
Yeah.
It's not my problem. Sounds like an engineering problem to me.
But no, I think it's fun. I think it's cool to explore all the different kinds of comedy. I mean, we don't want to be Nickelodeon over here.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Just Chattin' with the creepy grinding noise. If you watch the other Just Chattin', the one with Kathleen as the this is the crap shot. The one with Kathleen is the
Linda Thwip or something.
Brenda. I can't remember.
Whatever.
Thwip.
The Thwipper.
The Thwipper. There's no noise in that because they were using the lapel mics, and we were using the lapel mics for the one with me and Jason, but it didn't record that one for some reason. So we're using on-camera audio, and the noise is actually the slider that the camera is on, but it adds this weird like to the back of the shot, and you're like, "What is that? Why do I feel uncomfortable?"
I figured you guys. I figured you guys were using like a rolly chair or something for doing the sliding.
No, it was a
And so
real
that was
slider. It just was vibrating the camera weirdly. What fictional creature from a video game, movie, or television would you keep as a pet?
Providing space is no option, or like space is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, a Moogle.
Oh man,
Fly around.
they're intelligent too.
Assist me with tasks.
The just the straight up like flying buffalo from Airbender.
Oh yeah.
What are they called?
What's his name?
All their
Appa. Yeah.
Appa.
what's the animal though? All their animals are two animals rammed together, right?
Yeah, I forget what Appa's species name is though. But Appa would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because he's like he's pretty smart,
And he looks
also
like a giant baby that flies.
he's also a giant, fluffy, awesome flying buffalo.
Yeah, he's basically like a giant plush animal that you can ride around.
Mm-hmm. Flying cat bus.
The thing that occurred to me was that in World of Warcraft, I have as one of my vanity pets, like this flying book that just follows me around, and I'm like, that would be pretty handy because it can also blast people.
He's a sky bison.
Sky bison.
Maybe I'm thinking of the terrible movie.
All right.
No. The combining things together is pretty
Yeah.
common in
Okay.
Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah.
It's a cool
I'm pretty
show,
sold
actually.
on Moogle because Moogles can talk and like do magic and like
But
reference things for you.
Well,
wouldn't
like,
that be weird to have it as like your pet though? Because it's actually just like a guy.
I think it's more like a familiar, right?
All right, that's fair. I guess I could like.
Oh, maybe I could have
I
like.
wonder what the chocobo riding laws are around here.
I'm sure you'd find out. Maybe I could actually have like a Jereg familiar from like the Stephen Bruce books. So like a Jereg is basically a really intelligent psychic iguana that like sits on your shoulder, and if the books are anything to go by, they're very sarcastic and they like to wisecrack. So it seems like that could be.
Talking about shoulder animals, what about that little thing from Nauska? The little like fox.
It looks like a tiny fennec fox.
It's
right?
cute
Yeah.
but useless. I
yeah.
want a useful animal.
See, like whenever I hear about like
You have to have
having
it bite your finger too.
an intelligent pet, I keep thinking about, was it Weird Al, where he's doing that one song and he's like, "All right, son, can you make it talk?" and like does this guitar thing, and it's like, "All right, can you make it shut up?" And I'm like, do I really need something else that talks in my life? I've got a lot of those right now.
They're called people.
Can I interest you in Baxter, who is very talkative?
Remember when I taught Annika to talk?
Yeah, that was irritating.
But you knew what he wanted.
It's true. Baxter came like that. We don't know what he wants. He's just like, meow, meow. Actually, he squeaks. He's like, eh. And you're like, what? What do you want? He's like, I don't know.
No, he wants attention or water or to be played with or to be picked up or to like chase something around or to be walked around the house or just to be pet.
He just wants input. Is what he wants.
What he wants is
Stimulus.
just for you to pay attention to him in some way.
Yeah, but sometimes it's different because you're like, oh, you just want me. You want me to pay attention to you, and you pick him up, and sometimes he's like, yes, and other times you pick him up, and he's like, no, you're doing it wrong. I want you to throw a thing. Gaw, idiot.
He's just really distracting when I work at home.
You guys talk about playing D&D, states Elliot. But do you have any other pen and paper games that you like? Share a funny story? Question mark.
I've been trying to get Eclipse Phase off the ground for a couple of months now.
I'm excited about this
What
Eclipse
was
Phase
the
game.
blah, blah, blah. What is Eclipse Phase?
Eclipse Phase is a science fiction pen and paper role-playing game set about 25 years after the fall of man. It is transhumanist.
Ooh,
And
transhumanist.
Yeah, it deals with ideas of, well, I mean, like what the definition of humanity when your body and your mind and your memories are all very plastic.
I'm really big on that right now because we just finished watching Ghost in the Shell second gig, and I'm playing Deus Ex Human Revolution on my stream right now, and I'm all up on the transhumanism.
Yeah. and
Also punching people.
the basic conceit of the game is that humanity won a war against the machines, but now Earth is a burned out nuclear wasteland.
Hooray.
And there are less than 1 billion humans left in the solar system, living on various tiny colonies.
Less than 1 billion in the whole solar system.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the quality of life is better than it's ever been, right? It's one
that's
of those
nice.
things where no matter what happens, our kind of lifespan and average level of wealth and satisfaction of life is kind of always going upwards.
Oh, that's cool.
When I was a kid,
But we're dying.
I can't tell if the people in Destiny are meant to be cybernetic or if they just have crazy outfits. I
Like-
don't think so because there's humans
Mhm.
or awoken,
Mm-hmm.
or like actual robots.
Awake.
Yeah, I'm a robot.
Okay. Does anyone in that game
Are
have
you-
binocular vision, or do they all just see through that one hole in their helmet?
I don't
Are
know
you a
what's up with the
cyborg
helmets.
or are you an android?
No,
if
I'm
you're
an
a
actual robot.
Okay, so you're an android.
No one knows why they were built, nor do they. Apparently,
all
They're
right.
just like us.
yeah. It's
Who built them?
I have some questions. Let's put it that way.
They're leaving. They got 10 years. They want to leave some mysteries open for a
Yeah,
while.
they're planning on Destiny being a long-term franchise. So I'm sure that they. I mean, while I agree with the criticisms of Destiny that there's like barely any story there, I'm sure that is annoying them because I imagine that they have plans for how that's gonna happen.
right.
But I also agree with the Penny Arcade comic where it's like everything in Destiny sounds like it was written on the front of someone's like school binder, like hobgoblins and dregs and the darkness is coming and this thing is called the Traveler and it's all like
Is there anything in Destiny that isn't the like proper
the
pronoun?
the something.
just like no,
No. Okay.
the tower, the Traveler is near the tower.
The butt.
There's the reef,
There's
The
Taco
darkness.
Bell.
the speaker,
the moon.
the Vex, the moon, and the
Yeah.
wizard that came from the moon.
The Starbuck.
Oh my God! Has someone done a Destiny Goodnight Moon?
Oh. Get on that.
Good night to the wizard who came from the moon. Good night.
New video idea.
Yeah.
Scrap what we're writing.
Good night to the EXO kicking the ball around the tower. Good night to the speaker and his weird face.
Good night, Dune.
Good night, Dune. Exactly. Mark asks, are Friday Nights Series 2 coming to DVD soon? Yes. Will there be a box set of seasons 1 through 11?
No.
Give us some time on that.
You can put them in a box if you want.
That's what usually happens to our DVDs, from what I'm
Yeah,
getting
if you go to the liquor store, you go around like the back of the loading dock, you can be like, "Hey, do you have any boxes?" And they'll usually give you some boxes if you want
Yeah.
to put all our DVDs in a box. We don't even have seasons 1 to 11 on DVD yet, but I am trying on season 6. Yeah.
Oh dear.
6. Anyway, Dietrich says, all vehicles and normal transport animals are gone. Well, shit. What creature, extinct or living, will you make your new beast of burden? Personally, I like mastodons, says Dietrich. I agree.
Yeah, if we could choose extinct ones.
Friggin'
it's
woolly
obvi-
mammoth all a bins.
It's obviously a dinosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Utah
writing
Raptor.
I'm writing a dinosaur.
I'm riding a mammoth. I don't care. I like them.
Ah,
Mammoth.
Deinonychus.
Maybe I have a friendly saber-toothed tiger
Oh my god.
who's just like, "Meow,
Battle cat.
I love you," and then and eats everybody else.
Love it. All right.
seems good.
Have you raised a
Ooh,
saber-toothed tiger from a kitten? I bet it could be
Ooh,
snuggly.
I want one of those sloths that are like 20 feet tall.
Ooh.
Like
You'd not
basically-
get around very fast.
No, but you'd be awesome. and you could like sleep on his back because it'd probably be pretty relaxing.
You should probably get used to sleeping on him because you wouldn't be going very far.
Also, we would all starve
But
to death
it would
on the
be
island.
slow but inexorable.
Think about all the mammoths we could eat.
Then we would have to ride.
Stay away from my
I don't
mammoth.
want to eat mammoth.
Noah asks 3 quick questions. 1. Any info on a second season of Strip Search? That is up to Penny Arcade, and that I believe will weigh heavily on how the DVD sales are, and I believe that they are coming soon, and we put a lot of work into them, and I hope that you enjoy them. Also available on Blu-ray.
So no.
So I have no info, but the
have
fact
no info.
it's not our call is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Number 2, are there plans for another LRRCon next year or beyond? We don't really know yet. We had a lot of fun with it, but we need to talk about it. So we don't know yet. I guess I'm not going to say no, but I'm not saying book your flights. So, number 3, if I paid you for the shipping to and from the moon base, would you be willing to sign my Kickstarter poster? I mean, yes. It's just like, don't expect a quick turnaround. But I guess you could email us about that.
Don't email Graham. Email me.
Yeah. James asks, any more songs for the Year of Lure? Love the 2013 one. I want to. I thought of one the other day that I thought of another rap song. It doesn't have to be 64K, but I thought of another rap that I would kind of like to do. So maybe.
All right.
Sasha asks, what game do you all play when you're not playing Magic? Well, I would watch our streams. That's basically the sort of stuff we play.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Devil Survivor, even when I'm not streaming.
I mean, I'm playing Destiny right now. So
I've been playing Pokemon in World of Warcraft.
Colin asks, will you come to GP Ottawa? What about GP Montreal or Quebec? Me and my friends would love to meet you guys and have you sign a couple of cards or playmats. We would love to come out there, but the problem is going east from here is really expensive.
You know how expensive it is for you to fly to the West Coast? It's that expensive for us to fly to the East Coast.
Weird how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah, symmetry. That being said, GP Montreal would be totally sweet.
The nearest that we get to that region is when we go to PAX East in Boston. If I know it's quite a drive for you from Montreal, but there's a ton. If you're into Magic, there's a ton of Magic events happening at PAX, and PAX in general is just a great time. And
Montreal's super cool, though.
I know it is. I know. I want to go there.
Yeah. I mean, it would be.
I've never been.
If yeah, I mean, probably the only likely way it would happen is if there was some sort of deal with Wizards to actually do something there. But at the moment, that is not on the cards.
Our buddy Dix is asking, is there any particular style of beer that you would like me to bring up for Desert Bus? Not IPAs, please. What is it, November?
Oh, wait, no.
November?
If you can get any, bring some Pliny the Elder.
Oh, that
please.
was actually amazing.
That's apparently one of the best beers in the world.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's November, so like stouts and porters and stuff.
Yeah, something with a bit of meat on its bones.
Yeah. What? Okay, Bradley, not Bradley Rains. Bradley asks, or posits a hypothetical. Which is worse? You're walking along a river and you see a child drowning. You can save the child, but you choose not to. Or,
and you can swim, right?
I guess. It doesn't say. It just
It
says
says you can save.
you
so-
can save it, but you choose not to.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
Or you are drowning a child in the river.
What is this, a Voight Kampf test?
I don't understand.
Why aren't I helping it? Why?
So if it's the question is the lack of action just as bad as the actually actively doing it?
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant, Mr. Deckard?
Yeah, I
I guess
guess actively doing it
actively
is
murdering
worse.
is worse.
Yeah.
Because then presumably you've
Legally.
you've also been like going around like, trying to find a child to do this to. Like it opens up a whole can of issues. I mean,
Can you be charged with not saving someone?
Well, aren't there good
there are
Samaritan
yeah
there?
there are certain circumstances where you can't get. In
But it's not
trouble.
as bad as murder.
No.
No.
All right.
So
Well,
legally, you're in a better position.
So
Yeah.
society has already determined
there
the
we
answer
go.
for us.
What a weird question. Jeff
feel-
asks, have you ever been arrested?
No.
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 We're
Okay.
boring.
And also, if you could take a pill and learn a language, just
Ooh.
like, whoop, what language would you choose and why?
Ooh, neat.
Sumerian. I'd want to figure out the whole base 60 thing.
Oh, yeah, what the hell? I don't know.
I'd probably learn like, like Chinese or Japanese or
Yeah.
like because
I can muddle my way through the European stuff by, like, my rudimentary knowledge of French and sort of inference of stuff like that, but I have
And
no
everybody in Europe
basis.
speaks English. Yeah, I think Mandarin. I would learn Mandarin.
I mean,
Yeah.
Portuguese would be kind of neat. You could read Borges, untranslated, like medieval Italian, so you could read Commedia.
I mean, there's also be like if we want to go into the realm of like, some language that like ancient Egyptian or something, so that you could basically act as a Rosetta Stone.
Stand aside, everyone. I got this.
That
Yeah.
could be cool.
No,
Whatever
no, no,
that
no, no.
was.
It's
No,
like,
his name ain't Ramses. It's Dave. Trust me.
yeah, it's like all these things that we've all thought about the Egyptians, totally wrong.
Being able to read that one, what's the text that just completely befuddles linguists? It came out of, it's like a 19th century text that came in somewhere out of Russia, and it's written in
Right.
some kind of weird cipher.
That
And
they're
it has all
yeah,
kinds
they're
of like weird plants in it that don't actually exist, and
right, and then there's like debate as to whether it's like it is actually a cipher, whether it's just total gibberish.
yeah, I'd like to be able to read that. That would
It's
be
like
neat.
you learn the language of this weird thing.
Yeah,
That's all you can read, but
yeah.
John C. asks, hard shell or soft shell tacos? I prefer soft.
Soft.
Hard.
I like eating hard shell tacos, but they are fundamentally flawed as a food in terms of the biting and then they fall apart.
So this is why you need the cheesy gordita supreme from Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Because then the
that adds
cheese holds it
structural-
together.
Structural support.
Yeah, it's a hard shell taco with a soft shell taco laminated to the outside with a layer
Yeah.
of cheese.
So it's like one of those composite bulletproof
Yeah.
vests.
Yeah, so
where the
you
outside,
bite it
like,
and you
layer-
get the crunch, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So the answer
it prevents,
is
like,
both.
Taco spalling,
Yeah.
right?
The Loading Ready Run podcast now brought to you by Taco Bell. We do not have Taco Bells locally.
No. Remember in Calgary when we all went to Taco Bell in the food court?
We're all
and I
like-
got that one picture of everyone like eating their food, and everyone's kind of looks like
Oh.
this is not that good. Actually,
Why do
and everyone
people
kind of
like
has this
this?
quizzical look on their face.
Like, ugh. I was led to believe this would be better. Disappointment and confusion. Equal measures.
Yeah, just like a 1 out of 10 on the dismay scale,
Yeah.
but it's still like twitching the needle.
Kevin asks, any exciting material queued up for future Alex streams for future Alex to play on Watch and Play? And yes, and you can assist with that by sending an email with your suggestion and please like a link to where to find the game, or ideally like a video example of the gameplay so I know that it'll be appropriately terrible, to Watch and Play. That's A-N-D. Watch and Play, one word with actual numerals and not the thing. What's the email?
Paul.
I'm not sure.
Okay. You set it up.
Yeah.
Watch and play
But I
at
just-
loadingreadyrun.com.
I typed in whatever you told me to.
I know, I don't remember it either. Anyway.
Probably watch and play at loadingreadyrun.com.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it would be with A&D, not with an ampersand.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, watch and play at loadingreadyrun.com. And that way you can tell me about your ideas without Alex finding out about them.
Ho, 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 solo.
Carter asks, do you guys have any tattoos?
I do.
There you go. You can get into it if you want.
No.
Okay.
Ha mystery.
It's actually like a Japanese mafia tattoo.
Japanese mafia.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
from-
Arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that you can't see, like if you're watching the video, anything of Kathleen's that you can see right now that is obscured by fabric, it's actually just all tattoos.
yeah.
Yeah.
My entire body is actually tattooed. I'm actually green.
No, it's all blacklight tattoos.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that'd be cool.
Turn on the blacklight to Paul and just lights up like a CSI crime scene.
Yeah.
Oh.
Grigori asks, Hey friends, long-time listener, first-time askler, can you tell us about any funny stories behind the scenes on filming a video that are not in loading time? So we did that earlier in this very podcast, but I wanted to acknowledge you anyway.
It's like, can you tell us about any funny things that ever happened?
No, nothing funny ever happens. Salmir asks, did anyone have a plan or idea for shooting a sketch and or a crap shot during any of the crew's weddings?
Yes. There was a crap shot that I wanted to shoot, and nobody would let us do it at my wedding.
I would not let us do it at our wedding. You kidding me?
Well, I thought it would
The
be a
rest of
good
us were fully
justification for
behind
the
shooting it at
expense.
your wedding.
It's basically, do you want to play the man and the woman here, Graham?
Sure.
All right.
I can remember how it's supposed to start. It's
starts with...
like we're in an argument, I
Yeah.
think. And then and I give you a piece of paper.
And it says... No, the woman gives...
Oh,
it,
yeah,
and
you
it's
give me
like-
the piece of
It's
paper.
like, you know what? Here. And I hand him a card.
You are cordially invited to eat my ass.
No, to
Chow down on my brown.
To
chow down on my brown.
Yeah.
And your
then
reaction is...
It's like, I thought you'd never ask or something.
No,
or
it's
It's
like-
like, are you coming on to me?
right.
Are you coming on to me?
And then hard cut to them getting married. And then it's like, I now pronounce you man and wife. And then the woman turns around and the guy bends down and lifts up her train. And then it cuts.
Yeah. And I was like, why don't we film that at our wedding? And then everybody's like, no. And I was like, pfft.
My family is there.
I didn't mean like actually at the all. Like I mean like do a shot afterwards.
Well, I wanted to get plates, but like we had that idea before James and Ashley's wedding, and that was
We
not
didn't,
permitted either.
Seriously didn't get plates at our wedding. I'm so
We
annoyed.
would have taken a team to lift Ashley's train. Jordan asks, when will the EDH live stream occur? I don't believe we ever committed to doing a Commander EDH live stream. We just said it's something that we would think about and that we would probably like to do, but we have not committed to it, so I have no date for you. But it's something that we will look at. Julius asks, do you have any statistics on where your fans are from? Please tell us. Broadly speaking, the majority of our fans are from the U.S.,
and then
followed by Canada.
and then like the UK, Australia, and like a heavy Northern European contingent,
I feel like
like Norway,
the
Sweden.
UK, like we might have more fans from the UK than Canada, maybe. I feel like they're tied, and then a close, like tied for second, then a close third from Australia. A lot of Australian fans, but then it's all over. Like when we're doing Desert Bus, we get people being like, "I'm watching from Sao Paulo," or I know that when we were doing our T-shirts here, when we were shipping them out by hand, every T-shirt there was one guy in Croatia who buys every one of them.
Yep. We get a lot of traffic on the website from Sweden. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we have a lot of Swedish fans. Canada's now that I've spent a lot of time traveling in the US, I realize that Canada is much more like Sweden light than the US light. It's a very different culture.
William asks, are y'all playing at the pre-release? We're playing it tomorrow.
We're trying to, yeah.
Is Desert
I
Bus?
thought it was Sunday that we were playing it.
We're going to try and do it tomorrow because you can,
right,
you can
yes,
do
yeah.
Sunday as well.
Right,
You can chain it, but some of us have the brewery tour thing. The different brewery tour. Apparently, we have multiple brewery tours happening.
Beer.
Welcome to Victoria. Anyway, is Desert Bus accepting volunteers?
Desert Bus is not currently accepting volunteers. I'm the volunteer coordinator for Desert Bus. Like last year, we said we'd put out an open call, but we had very, very little turnover in our volunteers. Most of them were excited to come back and able to come back, even though it's taking a week off work and traveling up here. And so we actually only had a few openings, and I didn't want to put out a big like open call for volunteers if we only had a few spots for them, because that's not fair. It gets people's hopes up, and we kind of have to balance, bringing in new people. And we do have new people coming in who are volunteering this year, but also we don't want to push out some of our existing volunteers who have done fantastic work for us in an opportunity to open up more spaces, right? So we've got that kind of thing. So what we have now is, if you go to the Desert Bus website, there's a blog post up which sort of explains all that in much better wording. And you can email volunteer@desertbus.org to be put into the volunteer pool for 2015. We have a few people in there already. I'm always accepting more. Unfortunately, just to get to sort of dispel everybody's to take everybody's hopes down a little bit, we have a very large volunteer team, but we're somewhat limited in what we can do for taking on new volunteers because we just don't have a lot of turnover in the positions. So it'll probably be a situation again next year where we have maybe 4 or 5 slots open up, and we'll fill them from the pool. And I apologize if you don't get selected, but I did not even put an advertisement out this year, and we still had way more people ask to volunteer than we had positions open for. So the new volunteers this year, to keep things fair, were selected on, availability and how quickly they got back to me after last year. Just the sooner you emailed last year, the more likely you were to be in.
All right. Felix asks, when will you do a second Tap Tap Concede about Commander? I thought we'd done more than one already, but we'll do another one sometime soon,
Maybe
I
after
guess.
the monocolor Commander decks come out.
Ooh, snap, yeah.
Damnation reprint.
Hope so. Well, it wasn't in Annihilation, so it's got to be coming in something.
Eric asks, what are your opinions on Destiny? So far, of the 4 of us, I'm the only one who's played it, and I think I want to get into it more in depth than just here, so maybe I'll talk about it on stream or something, or maybe in a follow-up podcast. But suffice to say, I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun.
After you finish Deus Ex, are you gonna actually play Destiny on the stream at all, or?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I could do that. Could let people from the chat drop into my fire team. That'd be fun. Yeah, I don't really know. But I know Cam wants to stream some Destiny as well.
Yeah, the art design looks totally sweet.
It's sweet.
It's so pretty.
Gorgeous. The game is beautiful.
What's the name of the Destiny lure clan?
Yeah, I was going to say there's a clan now. There's a Bungie clan for Loading Ready Run. I think it's just called Loading Ready Run. We just linked to it from our Twitter account today. And that is so that you can join other Loading Ready Run fans or the crew, if they're online, for like raids and such without having to join all of our friend lists, because that would be impractical.
Plus the PS4, like the PlayStation, you have a cap to your friends list, don't you?
I think so. So the clan itself is platform agnostic. There's actually no in-game function to it, but it means that you can join the clan, and PS3/4 players can play together, and Xbox 360/Xbox One players can play together, as I understand it. The clan doesn't actually do anything apart from just discovering other people, and so you can be like, hey, who wants to do the raid later? And then people can be like, I will do the raid with you, and then you can find other people to do that.
You get some raidsmans.
get the raidmans, so you don't have to have randoms just sort of get assigned to your fire team. So Brett asks, do you want to dance?
No.
All right. And then Rocky asks, is this really the last season of Loading Ready Run? So this is something that we've been asked a lot, and we've tried our best to get this out. And I know I've said it in previous podcasts, but I will say it again to you, because sometimes people listen to one and don't listen to the others, and it's always good to get the information out there. So, no, we're not going away. What this is the last year of There Will Always Be a Sketch every week. All the other stuff that we're doing, Unskippable, Feed Dump, the
Tap Tap Concede,
this podcast, Jinx,
Friday nights,
the streaming as well. That's all gonna keep happening, but not having to do a different sketch every week means that we'll be able to focus some more time on other stuff, and it'll sort of be able to rearrange our production schedule a little bit in a generally beneficial way. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep making content that we think you'll like, and we might even do a sketch every now and again, but it just means that the every week assuredly there will be a sketch is not happening. So it's the last season of the sketches, but not all of us.
Like, for example, when you have like a really killer idea, like when I came up with the idea for like the underpants video.
That was a really funny video.
Yeah, like if I come up with an idea like that again, I'll be like, hey, let's film a sketch, and we'll still make a sketch and put it out. It just won't be every Monday without fail. Friday if you're a Kickstarter backer.
Haha. So, and that was, I'm going to double check to see if anything else has come in. Why doesn't this order them?
I kind of want to keep doing crap shots, though.
Me too. Why doesn't this order things in order of when it came in? I don't understand.
What order does it?
It's random order, apparently. I'm just going by the times when it was submitted. Kathleen, you can answer this. James asks, we've been seeing Graham a lot less in Feed Dump in recent months. Has this been a conscious decision, or is his time being stretched too thin?
His time is stretched too thin.
Womp womp.
I'm the second choice.
You're real good at it, though. Also, more importantly, Kathleen's been editing Feed Dump for the last probably the last year now.
Yeah, it's definitely like the last year.
And recently has been getting very goofy with it, and I love what you've been doing, especially the random cuts to technical difficulties screens from New Zealand television from the 1980s.
Yeah.
All right. That looks like that is all of the questions from the Facebox. So we have answered your things, and I apologize if we didn't get to your question. And I guess that we will stop the talking part now and go to the part where the podcast ends.
I was going to say, well, what's the other part of the podcast?
Well, I don't
the
know.
non-talking part?
Yeah.
Where we just all sit here?
Where it goes to the next podcast in your podcasts app.
So
a reminder, this is on that you can watch this on a YouTube channel. You can listen to it
on
via
iTunes.
audio on an RSS feed from our website or on iTunes. And
hey,
we're looking to do a thing where we're adding other feeds for our other casts. So I did some asking people for feedback a couple weeks ago, and based on the general feedback that I got, what we're going to do is we're going to have a feed that's just, this is for like audio subscriptions, for like adding to iTunes or for your podcast app or RSS feed or however you choose to digest audio stuff. There'll be a feed for Tap Tap Concede, and a feed for Corrector's Commentary, and a feed for example, Temple of the Lava Bears and any other podcast we might add. But the main LRRcast feed that already exists will still have all of that. So if you just want to be like, I like all your stuff, and I want to hear all the things, keep that subscription like it is, and everything will still go to that feed.
But then there's also individual feeds for each individual podcast.
Yeah, but if you would rather just be subscribed to
have
TapTap,
TTC
but
or
check in on
something.
LRRcast whenever you want, then you can do that too. So
yay!
that'll be cool. Do you guys, speaking of which, do you guys have plans for your next Corrector's Commentary?
We've been kicking around ideas for what we want to look at. We've got a couple of things in the queue, and we also have an idea for the next conceit for Corrector's Commentary, but I'm not sure it's going to pan out. I tried to...
The next conceit?
Yeah, Alex, or I at least, had an idea that we would... I don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but we each have movies that we want to talk about that the other person hasn't seen, so I was thinking of doing a series where we introduce each other to a movie that we each really like, and you have one person who's very familiar with it and one person who's watching it for the first time.
Ooh, interesting.
But I don't know if that works, and I wanted to do that with No Country for Old Men, but I have this fear that any commentary I do for No Country for Old Men will just amount to shh, shut up.
Yeah.
This part is good.
We encountered that problem once we were watching a riff track for I Am Legend, actually, which is fine, like the Will Smith movie, right? But it's got some pretty suspenseful moments or whatever, and we were watching it with a bunch of people, and I think Tally and someone else hadn't seen it before, and they were just like, I really want to watch this movie without the riff track now, like after it was funny, but then about halfway through they'd started getting invested in it. And actually we encountered that Jeff, who I watch riff tracks with sometimes, we were watching the one for Jaws, which is really funny, but Jaws is such a good movie,
right?
And we were like halfway through, we were like, just shut up.
Yeah.
Didn't you end up just turning off the riff track?
No, we didn't, which is thank God, because the end credits for Jaws is a musical number with Kevin Murphy, and it's fucking hilarious. But
I think you definitely, for any kind of commentary thing, you definitely want to have
seen the movie
fairly recently seen the movie.
What if you do it? We're just brainstorming live on the air. What if you do it that like you and Alex watch the movie, and like the next day or maybe later that day, then record. Okay. And so for Alex, it's like, I have just watched this.
Right.
And then you can have this sort of...
the second pass.
Yeah, you can have that kind of discussion without Alex being like, wait, what did he say? What did he... And
yeah, no, I think that would be really good. But I just kind of wanted to have that
immediate
experience.
Yeah, that could also be really cool. God.
No, but like I think that works like on a second pass where you can have just kind of like a slight bit of information about it. But I think Alex and I are both very interested in doing commentaries for Blade Runner and John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, The
Ooh.
Thing is such a good movie.
The Thing, though.
Yeah.
That Thing.
That Thing. Have you both seen the recent one as well, the remake?
Oh, it's so bad. Well, it's
excellent.
not so bad. It's just really boring.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, and totally unnecessary. It's like I was watching it and thinking, man, I wish The Thing was on Netflix, because I had the hankering to watch it one night, and I put it in and I was like, oh, I guess I'll just watch
It's got
this.
the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's got the wrong thing.
Darn.
But I mean, maybe we should also do like a Halloween edition where we just do horror movies that we both like and think
Oh,
are effective.
man.
Like The Exorcist.
Ooh.
I mean, if you want, there are.
Could you?
There
Are you guys
many-
open to guest correctors?
We might be. The thing that we're trying to avoid doing is like doing requests, because I think we both work best when we are working with movies that we're both familiar with and invested in and enjoy a lot. But I mean, guest correctors could be fun. I know Mia is really interested in sitting in, but would you?
I would love to. If
Yeah,
it
okay.
like I wouldn't want to request anything, but if there's one where you're like, we're gonna do this movie, I'd be like, ooh, I would love to talk about that because I have opinions.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think another one that we want to do is a first viewing of Tarkovsky's Stalker.
Oh my god.
Or it's just like, what the hell is
What is going on? That would actually be really, because neither of you have seen Stalker,
No,
right?
no, but you have.
I've not all of it, but they showed it to us in film studies class. That could be really interesting.
So,
Anyway,
digressions with Cam and Alex.
for
All right.
those of you who haven't seen Corrector's Commentary, they talk about movies, and they do it riff track style, where you get the commentary track from us free, and you sync it up with the movie, and then they will tell you interesting things about it,
Or just
or
talk
how,
incessantly
about
through it.
how crap it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super interesting. So,
I'm glad people like it.
All right.
anything else?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. All right. So
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for the
You the
LRRcast.
best.
You the no, you the best.
No, you the best.
No, you the best.
no,
Shut up.
no, you the thing.
I need to go bathroom.
Okay, bye.
I think we can all agree that nobody's the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Bye.
bye.
Bye.